Hey, Fit Fam, Coach Russo here. We are live on YouTube. This is Building Muscle While You Walk, Part 2. Okay, Part 1, I gave you a short summary of the course, but what we're looking at today is, all right, I'm walking, muscles are contracting. And you feel free to try this with me. You're walking, clearly muscles are contracting. There is no other way to walk. If you couldn't contract your muscles, you couldn't walk. However, just because you're walking doesn't mean you're maximizing your body's full potential. It doesn't mean you're using all the muscles, and it for sure almost never means you're using all the muscles together for what we would call essentially alignment or maximum efficiency. So the whole point of the course is we're going to learn how to use these muscles together to improve walking. So you're building muscle, yes, but we're building muscle that works together. And I guess a more fancy way of saying that is integrated neural network. So my brain is connecting all these different pieces to be able to fire together. But the premise is muscle activation. Okay, I'm getting way too scientific. I'm sorry. Anyways, so let's go work. We'll work through super brief. So perfect example is the core muscles, right? When people walk, they're not bracing their core all the time. And that's not necessarily what you want to do. However, you want to feel your stomach engage. So slightly in, slightly tucked. I want to have this lift, right? But I want my shoulders to be able to move, and my core, it's moving as one unit. So in classes, when we do our twisting exercises, but our hips aren't moving, this is happening when we walk. So I'm here, I want to get this rotation going. So the activation is my core is engaged, tucking gently, and boom. So that neural integration is now my core is steady and my arms are swinging. So why is that important for your walking is, one, if you lock your shoulders in while you walk, what most people do, you're creating a bunch of upper back and neck tension. It's also training your mind to inefficiently not use your arms. You know, you're using your arms when you walk. That's the whole point. So if you want to make walking easier, you definitely want to involve your upper body. Now, that's not technically where the course starts, but it's pretty close. The next piece is, this is sort of the meat of the whole course, is this is what you want to learn in terms of muscles, in terms of muscles that move you forward. So my core and arm swing, that's holding me steady, but what's actually moving me forward is my legs. Makes sense, right? And this, today's class, defending against knee pain, this is going to be very important. So what I'm looking at when I walk, yes, you're picking your foot up. That improves the balance. But when my foot lands heel toe, I actually want to pull this front leg like I'm sliding back. So I'm pulling back. So I call this going backwards to go forward. So when I step, I'm not thinking about pushing off this back leg. I'm thinking about pulling this front foot back, pulling this front foot back, pulling this front foot back. I call it sticky foot. So in the full course, I dive pretty extensively into how to do that. But what that will do is it's going to develop the muscles in the back of your legs. And just by modern day society, these muscles are completely dormant and inactive, and that leads to a lot of muscular imbalance. So while I'm walking, boom, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. So whether or not you decide to do the course, just walk away with the concept that, like, while I'm walking, I'm pulling my feet back, and I'm using the muscles in the back of my legs to move me forward. Not only is that more efficient, that is going to lead to a better alignment in the legs. So, and then as you progress more and more, you're actually going to tie the elements together. So I got this nice core, I got my nice arm swing, and I'm pulling back, and I'm pulling back, and I'm pulling back. Now, the biggest objection I get is, Coach, how can I think about so many things at the same time? And the answer is, you can think about 2 things at the same time, sometimes 3, depending on your level of focus. But realistically, what you do is when you walk, you set the conscious intent, like, all right, today, I'm going to be focused on the back of my legs. Boom, focusing on the back of my legs, right? And then the next day when you walk, you're like, oh, I'm going to focus on my core, right? I'm going to focus on my shoulders. And I break down how to do that in terms of what you want to focus on, right? So core, boom. And then as you start to do that more and more, these things happen naturally. Now, I put naturally in air quotes because did it happen naturally or did it happen because you had the conscious intent? We'll never know. So that's essentially those techniques while you walk are going to help you build muscle. But like I said, they're going to help integrate your muscles. It's going to improve your ability to walk. And when you walk easier, life is easier. That's essentially been the whole point, right? I just want to improve the quality of your life. And if you can walk easier, your life is better. And you're going to have this feeling of lift and feeling of lightness and the ability to move around and do things. Okay, so definitely be on the lookout for that course. It is going to be $5 for you guys because intro course, my first one that I'm doing with you guys. It's really powerful stuff. I'm working with all of my clients. They all enjoy it. So I highly recommend you get that when it comes out. It's coming very, very soon. All right. So with that, we're going to start class.